first Q&A that's actually Tokyo Mew Mew related. Oh yeah. What's poppin'? What's banging? What's good? What's cracking? It's your favorite smoker, aka your favorite motherfucking bitch, Cerise motherfucking Hut. This is actually gonna be one of my first Q&As that I'm doing, but it's one of those challenges that I've seen in this Tokyo Mew Mew group that I'm a part of, and I was like, I would rather make it a challenge that I could do on my page, well, on this channel to be exact, just to answer like 30 questions, explain to y'all my favorite Mews, my least favorite, well, my favorite characters, my least favorite characters, and stuff like that. But what makes it better, I'm going to answer like legitimately all 30 questions while attempting and trying to add clips, videos, all of that good stuff, so y'all can actually see and get the feeling, the understanding of why I like the anime so much, or my favorite parts about the animes, my least favorite parts about the anime series and stuff like that. And also, before we get into the Q&A, I also would like to let y'all know that I am currently putting together a little tattoo vlog in a session as well, all in one vlog. It's not completely finished yet, so y'all be watching out for that. So let's get into the Q&A, okay? Okay, now here's the first question. Favorite Mew. Now my favorite Mew has to be, technically speaking, I only have like two favorites. And both favorites out of the 7, because yes, I did mean 7. Said that meant that ain't taking the shit back. But yes, there are 7 Mews, but out of the 7, I only have but 2 favorites. And one of them is Mewberry, which is the name that I have on Twitch, and Mew Puddin' or Boulin, to be exact. And if y'all don't know why, well, if you want to know why I say Mew Puddin' top tier, is because one, she exudes ADHD type of energy, because she's me and I'm her and I stand and I live. If y'all don't know what I mean by being like the queen of ADHD, this is what I mean.
とっておきなのだ。はい、このシルクハットから羽が出ますよ。ビュー。なんだ、お姉ちゃんも芸ができるなら言ってくれればよかったのだ。それにしてもよくできた耳と尻尾なんだ。どういう仕掛けになってるのだ？あれ、取れないのだ。あったかいのだ。これってもしかして。本日の出し物はこれにて終了いたします。またのお越しを。
Now, second question. Favorite episode. Honestly and truly, every single episode of Tokyo Mew Mew was technically my favorite. But the introduction to Puddin' and her character and how she develops, because honestly, with any episodes that Puddin' is in, it's top tier. Like, from her introduction and everything, like, she's my absolute favorite. My favorite non-Mew. See, I got like 2 favorite non-muse to be exact, but I mean, I would say Masha, but Masha is a he's a mini muse, so that doesn't count. Hold that thought. Kishiro. Kishiro was my favorite. My favorite non-mute, actually. Favorite song. I don't know, because you got the original OP song from the dub, and then you got the original sub, and then you got the remake. So, or the reboot to be exact. So it's kind of hard to pick between those. But I would have to say, hold up. Now my favorite songs, it would have to be Bittersweet Darling or Resolution of Color. And the only reason why I picked those two, because one, is actually done, well, the songs are actually by the group called Smoothies. And the fun fact about the Smoothies is that they actually voice our characters like Ichigo, Mint, Lettuce, Pudding, Zakuro. So, you got those girls who are in a group, basically. And the girls who voices them or whatever, it's pretty amazing. So far from what I've seen, how the girls interact with each other when they do like the smoothie thing or the smoothie thing and stuff like that. So, yeah, but my favorite song would have to be Bittersweet Darling and Resolution of Color. Favorite pairing, putting in Ichigo. Why? Because I love how their dynamic is, especially when you first see them interact in the episode. Well, I would say in what? The episode where Puddin is actually introduced. But manga-wise, I just like how she is in the manga, because she interacts with the girls so well. So I would say pretty much any pairing that deals with Puddin is top tier my favorite. Favorite Chimera. My favorite Chimera has to be the weird lizard thingy from Puddin's episode, because I love that one. And it kind of ties in with my second favorite. The weird chicken Chimera, I like that one a lot better than the moth and the spider ones. I don't like that. I don't like those, but my top three would be the Chimera in Puddin's episode, and then you got the weird lizard looking lady with the maracas, and then you got the chicken, and then you got and then you got the cheetah Chimera, which was fused with a lady that could speak French and or English, who plays the piano, that Ryu and Kishiro knows. Character most like me, Puddin. It is simple. It will always be Puddin, because and also Barry as well. But with Puddin, which lean me towards Puddin mostly, is because of the fact she has like this mindset of making sure that her family is together, or that her family is okay and they don't want for anything. Or my personal favorite, for the fact that she's like the life of the party. She works extremely hard, just like Barry. Barry is most likely to be somewhat like me because of the fact that hardworking and would rather not go unnoticed for every hard work she puts into and stuff like that. So I lean more towards those two. Least favorite episode, I wouldn't have like a least favorite episode, because to me all of the episodes to me weren't too subpar or wasn't too like mid for me. But Yeah, that's all I can say. I'm not saying that the anime doesn't have its bad moments, because it does. But I would say if it comes to like my least favorite episode is where Mint, or in the dub Karina, goes against the Black Swan or whatever, and the animation wise her eyes glows red or some shit like that. I don't know why, but that's like, to me, one of those issues that I kind of don't. I would say that would be like my least favorite, but overall, I don't really have a least favorite episode whatsoever. Least favorite character, Ryu and Mint. Keep in mind, it's already enough that I don't like Ryu because of the fact that he gives off like a snobbish like attitude, and then throw in Mint. I really don't like her. I don't. Like, she's a good character, but I hate the fact that she's like the role of the rich mean girl, or who I call the Regina George of the group. Like, gee, you're not all of that. I mean, you're a cute girl that can do, a couple of twirls here and there, but that's just about it. So, you will never be a Puddin, or a Zakuro, or an Ichigo, or a Lettuce for that matter. But that's just my opinion. Pairing you don't ship. Puddin and Mint. And yes, I know. To me, even though Puddin is like the Regina George out of the group, the pairing that I don't ship, because I don't ship any characters at all in the series, because some of the characters in the series were already shipped together, I guess. Were already established in another terms. But my favorite pairing that I don't ship would be Mint and Puddin, because with Puddin is the life of the party. Puddin likes to have everyone to feel happy, so she's like the little sister out of the group, like I mentioned before. And with Mint will be like the big sister to Puddin, because since Mint, or Karina, is a performer just like Puddin, but she's a street performer, they like to make sure that the crowd is in love with their performance and not them, because they want their performance to speak for themselves. So I guess that'd be like my favorite pairing that I don't ship. Saddest moment. The saddest moment for me, because I only have but two, but the first sad moments that I actually picked was Puddin's backstory, which dives deep into her character and who she is and everything. And also the second one that I picked was with the whole thing with Deep Blue dying, or Deep Blue, actually before that, Messiah is Deep Blue, but Messiah didn't know, but all of a sudden he wants to kill Ichigo, Quiche, and then goddamn me want to just knock everybody fucking off for just standing in his way and shit. But that's kind of besides that. But like, one of the main ones that like kind of crushed me and gave me trauma just a tad bit was when, I would say, and I know this might or might not make sense, was when Messiah sacrificed his body and life to save Ichigo, but he dies, and then she dies, and then he gets brought back by a kiss, which brings her back. But that it's confusing and very convoluted, because it doesn't really explain on who died and how, what was the purpose, none of that. So we're just gonna go with that. Funniest moments. Now, we're just gonna get to the part where I say Puddin, because Puddin is like a being. She does not do any wrong. She's a child. She has ADHD, and we're just gonna leave it at that. Okay. Character least like you. Ryu. Because one, here's the thing. How can you be an asswipe, an asshole, a dick, while running an entire business but you expect me to give out sympathy because you lost your parents. Excuse me, how does that work? Now, see, at least with men will probably be one of like the second to least favorite to least characters that will like me because of the fact that I got a smart mouth, but she knows how to deal with that. But Ryu, on the other hand, he will have to fire me. That's just facts. Favorite weapon and attack. See, I have two, which is convenient. Because one, my first one is Puddin's tambourine, and the attack move, and the dub, which I can only remember the dub, is Tambourine Trench. And for my second favorite weapon and attack would be the Loveberry Rod, which leads to the Loveberry Check. Favorite manga volume? I would say volume 1 of Ayla Mode. Obviously, like I said in one of my older videos or previous videos with Ayla Mode, it actually talks about what happened to our main girls from like within the series and stuff like that. Because of course, in the last chapter, I think like the last volume, in the last volume, it was told that Barry would be actually carrying on the story. So I liked how volume 7 ended and then picked up in volumes 1 and 2 of Ayla Mode, which y'all should definitely read. If y'all haven't read that, y'all should definitely get into it. Favorite endangered animals. See, I can't pick because all of the animals that are endangered are hands down like adorable and I love them. But if I was to pick, I would mostly pick and go for the Amami Black Rabbit, the Anamote Wildcat, and the Golden Lion Tamarin. Favorite outfit? I would have two. And it's, of course, Barry and Puddin'. I like Puddin's original outfit when she had on like the little circus one-piece suit or whatever, this little one piece of a bodysuit. But in the remake, in the reboot, she's actually wearing a dress that kind of mimics the same that actually it's more so like a remnants of her first or her first outfit when she transformed into Puddin'. And my second favorite would be Barry's because of course in the volume 1 and 2 of Ayla Mode, it's somewhat, it's a combination of both Ichigo's and Puddin's, but it leaned more towards Ichigo, but it doesn't have like the extra pieces out. But in the reboot or in the return manga, which I've shown y'all before, you actually see like the new designs that they have, which means they have a new upgrade. Reboot Ideas. Now, the idea that I have for the series as a reboot, what they need to do is, tie in, first and foremost, a new Mew appears, because with new Mew appears, which I will somewhat explain because I'm still working on the script for that, and explaining the story behind the game and the in-depth lore of the game. In New Mew Appears, it actually talks about a character named Ringo, who was like the side, but the main character and the side character, in a sense. In the role that she plays, she plays the role of like a girl who actually stays in the States, and she stays at this park because their brother's a park ranger and they protect endangered animals and stuff like that. And Ringo actually has a pet penguin who she's very, very close to, who she calls a friend and stuff like that, which to me is actually super adorable in every way. And it kind of actually like gives us like the main villain, or the main villain from the game to make an appearance, actually, because we want like at least 3 to 4 episodes of that and then some, or like make it like a side story or a filler story, but that plays a part to the canon of the original manga story. Because if you think about it, with Ringo Akai's story becoming a Mew, because even though she's not an honorary Mew by transformation or by an experiment that was created by Ryu's father, that I also explained in the original video, she's a Mew to us. So get over it. We're gonna stick with that. But also as well, we need them to add the Saint Rose Crusader arc as well, because it makes sense. Because if you really think about it, Ringo's story takes place before Ayla Mode, and Ayla Mode is after Ringo's story, and pretty much after the whole thing with the Cineclons happened, and also which means it's going to actually gear up and lead into the Return arc, or the arc where the girls are out and stuff like that, saving the world from the Chimera animals as per usual. But in a certain aspect, they don't know where these animals are coming from at this point. So I would rather for them to do that and go by that, because if you really think about it, during the Return arc pretty much takes place after Ayla Mode, which also takes place right after New Mews Appear. So we're just gonna go with that too. Fan theory. I wouldn't necessarily say that I have a fan theory, but I would say the only fan theory that I have is dealing with A New Mew Appears, which is Ringo's story, or which is the Ringo arc to be exact. In between, during the episodes where the girls go on on this quote unquote vacation, which turns into work. Somewhere before that, I would say there were 2 vacations. And one of those vacations / work trips was when they came to the States and actually got to learn about the endangered animals in our area of the States and everything. And of course, it just kind of follows through the game like that, because it makes more sense than anything. So I would say that's like the only fan theory that I have, because if you really think about it, the main villain of the game is a Cineclon. Of course, I'm not too familiar with his name, but you can bet your bottom dollar he works for and worship, or I think did worship, the Deep Blue at the time. So we're just gonna go with that and just leave that alone where it's at right there. Okay. My favorite location would be the Mew Cafe, because the Mew Cafe be fun sometimes. Like any episodes that you see or any chapters in the manga that you read, it is never a dull moment there. If y'all really think about it and read the chapters and watch the series, a lot of us should be popping off. So y'all definitely, that's my favorite location, honestly, despite the fact that the Mew Cafe works as a base. We're just gonna, best moment or line.
Mew Mew style, Mew Mew grace.
Don't judge me. I can see y'all typing in them comments, okay? Don't judge me. Strongest character, Puddin'. She's the... I'm not gonna name all of the feats of these characters because these characters' feats as a whole is a lot. But the reason why I say Puddin' is the strongest in my opinion because it doesn't have nothing to do with being physically capable of fighting enemies or whatever the case may be like that. I would say what makes Puddin' strong to me is the fact that she is hustling and she is busting her ass for her family. That's what makes her strong to me. Weakest character, Met, goes who in the fuck bitch and complains about Zakuro not wanting to join the Muse for an episode and a half. Most attractive character, Kishiro. Don't ask why, just know it's Kishiro. Favorite manga panel has to be this. My favorite animation frame, I would say personally, my favorite frame from the animation in the series was when Zakuro met a mini version of herself, or a mini version of herself, and Kish got decked straight in his jaw behind a kid. If y'all know, y'all know. I'ma just leave it at that because that episode to me was kind of powerful to me in a sense. Favorite character theme, puddings. Think about it. You can't go wrong with that. Favorite language dub. I would say when it was aired here, the first 26 episodes of Tokyo Mew Mew, which was dubbed Mew Mew Power at the time, I will go with the Moth in Tokyo. That'll be the only dub for that one I actually like. Well, language dub, which would be the English dub of, I think, I would say the last episode, which kind of kicked off season 2. That episode and alone there was actually my favorite. And the last question is my favorite maid cafe food. I never been to a maid cafe, but if I would go, my favorite food will automatically dealing with strawberry cakes and pudding. That'd be it for me, with a side of tea. Hibiscus spice with a little bit of sugar. That would be me. That's my favorite thing right there. Eating cake and drinking tea, or eating pudding with tea, stuff like that. I love stuff like that. So that'll be my 2 favorite maid cafe foods, puddings and strawberry cakes. Now that was one of the first Q&As that I've actually done. I'm super excited about this because when I say this my very first Q&A, because actually after this I gotta edit this stuff and have it out and everything. But if y'all want to know what's been going on and what's been happening, I will be posting the vlog kind of explaining on what happened or what's been going on, or not even what's been going on. It's most a tag 2 vlog that leads into a smoke session or 2. We're just gonna leave it at that. I do got some new stuff that I'm working on right now currently, which means be on the lookout for new music and other new content from this channel, because pretty soon I'll be doing a tattoo reveal for you guys on what I got. But if y'all took the hint, or for anyone that's from the Tokyo Mew Mew group and y'all know what tattoo that I got of a certain panel, keep in mind it's on the page. So if y'all know what that panel is, comment down below. But if y'all want to know about the tattoo and how long it took, I can just tell y'all now, it only took 3 hours, and I gotta go back in another week or so to get it touched up and make sure that it's finished and it's, you know, when it's set. So, but also, here's the little video. So yeah, y'all not finna see what the whole thing looks like. Y'all only getting the small pieces of it, so y'all know what to look forward to when I actually announce or show off the Porchy piece that I have and everything. But if y'all like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to be notified when I make new videos. Yo, when I make new videos like every other week or every other day or whenever I can, because you know your girl's working and it's holiday season. You know, work's been kind of crazy, getting into a lot of stuff with that. And also to remember to stay high, and I love you guys. Bye.